Maclunky.
Welcome to round 2 Swiss of the SGC Columbus Star Wars Unlimited 2K, brought to you by Maclunky Gaming. Today, we have our very own Titanic battling LegoPizza from both the network. Joining us with expert commentary are Tower number 9 and less. Enjoy the match.
Yeah, super spiky.
Yeah, we're gonna see if Titanic can do better than with Jango Fett than our previous Jango player did. Now he is running into Anakin Blue instead of Iden Double Blue, and I think Iden Double Blue is probably a worse matchup for Jango than Anakin Blue, but we'll have to see how this goes. Platform 327 says, Tower, I am with you. The hyper leaders look so good. I keep showcases locked away. I pulled a showcase Han Solo from set 1 in a victory pack from a local draft, and I think that one looks very good. But I haven't actually played with it. I don't play a lot of Han. T-Ski says Jango is now the most expensive of all showcases on TCG. It got bought out. Wow.
Dang.
Wait, don't kill me thinks Anakin should be able to destroy Jango. It's possible that's the case, but Titanic is not a novice. He's played a fair number of games, and he might have some tricks in store for LegoPizza. We'll have to see how this goes. Sweet Cannoli says, yeah, I'm excited for Anakin Blue. A local player played Anakin Blue and thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I've been interested in Anakin decks initially, but my color was yellow and green. I didn't play blue.
Oh yeah, I like Cunning Anakin, man. You can get some crazy discard effects in Cunning Anakin, because you can not only run the red discard effect, but you can also you can bring in Spark of Rebellion.
Oh yeah.
And additionally, there are now enough Cunning Force users to allow you to enable Force Throw. So I was playing Grogu, I was playing Ezra, the new legendary Ahsoka, and those units, you have a lot of enablers for Force Throw early in the game.
I love people who are saying this is a really good matchup. Yeah, this is worthy of a final. Crafty Smuggler for Jango answering back for the Ian with a wing.
Yep, Titanic leads with the Crafty Smuggler, LegoPizza with the A-Wing, and here we go. Ski says now there are two is also sick for the Force stuff. Yeah, I'm a now there are two of them fan for Anakin Yellow as well, but I think it's unlikely we're gonna see it here. Playing it out of aspect would not make very much sense, though Titanic could be playing it himself. I do think there are some good plays with now there are two of them for Underworld decks as well. You bring out something like Bosk, Zuckuss, potentially even the Syndicate lackeys. That can be pretty nasty. Sweet Cannoli says, surprised Ian would go for space considering Jango Red runs a lot of space units. Well, it could be that he wants to go to space in order to make sure that we don't have like a Larking TIE Phantom swinging away. One of the best counters to that Phantom is just having your own units in the space arena. Rodney Stubbs thinks that might be what's going on here. He says he wants to face him head on.
Yeah, he's not going to let Titanic just rule space and walk over him with a bunch of space. Like he's going to put units in that arena. He's going to use Anakin's pump ability to trade favorably if he needs to.
Titanic brings out a P-38, damaging and exhausting the restored Ark. LegoPizza then swings into the base for 3 damage using his Green Squadron A-Wing. And Titanic uses his 7th Fleet Defender to clear the A-Wing. Interestingly, Titanic seems to be fighting to gain a board advantage here.
Yeah, I mean, in this situation, since you're behind in the life total, like whoever's the aggro and whoever's the control switches constantly in matches like these.
LegoPizza brings out a Green Squadron A-Wing. So Titanic could swing in here for 2 damage, but he actually takes the initiative instead. I like that play from Titanic because it puts him in a spot where he can swing with one of his units, clear that A-Wing, and have it off the field but he puts the damage on the A-Wing here. I think what I would rather do is put the damage on the restored Ark and then have one of my units swing into the A-Wing, clear it, and remain alive on 1 HP because the A-Wing is weak on defense.
Yeah, I like that call. I think that's slightly better.
And then if he gets another 1 damage ping, he would be able to use that to defeat the restored arc. On the other hand, this way both of the opposing units are potential targets for Tarkintown. But I do think that if I were Titanic, I would likely be looking to take the kill with my defender against the A-Wing, which means that doing the 1 damage to it from the P-38 would be maybe a little redundant. I'm not entirely sure, though. Let's see how he plays it. Kiski says, I think he's going to go for triple dark and try to kill both this turn with Raider. That would be interesting.
Plays out a
Looks like it's a
spacer.
cartel spacer. Exhausts the A-Wing. And then the restored arc trades there. Healing LegoPizza's base for 1 and removing the 7th Fleet Defender. I think if I were in Titanic's shoes, I might have just gone for the swing to clear out that A-Wing rather than playing the cartel spacer there. Ooh, that's spicy. Titanic hits base for 2. LegoPizza throws out Poe Dameron. Poe Dameron's a very powerful card. One of the more powerful legendaries that we saw in set 2. Oh, what is that?
Oh wow, the Vambrace flamethrower.
Yeah, man, that is spicy. Titanic throws a Vambrace flamethrower onto Jango, and he's going to use it here to clear out Poe, I believe.
Yeah, I love this play. This is so cool. I think Vambrace flamethrower one of the more underrated cards from set 2. The fact that you get to do, then the fact that you can play it on a ready leader and then swing with it and do a ton of damage to an enemy ground unit. I love
Now,
that.
what is that? It looks like it's Tarkintown. For a moment, I thought that he had incorrectly used the flamethrower on the A-Wing as well, but it was a Tarkintown play from Titanic to clear the field, and he's now looking like he has a pretty strong setup here. But LegoPizza is going to get a chance to deploy Anakin. The problem, though, is with that flamer on the field, Jango can just kill Anakin.
He throws Obi-Wan in the mix,
Okay.
protecting
So if
his
you're
Anakin.
Titanic, I think I just throw. No, okay. He doesn't do that. He's going to swing with the spacer. Does he have a bounce? No. Oh, nasty.
Two on
He
Anakin,
plays a
love this.
Ruthless Raider and uses the damage from the Ruthless Raider to exhaust Anakin.
Gotta love that. That's one of the reasons Anakin can struggle into Jango is the tap down, like on your
Now,
deploy. Like
if Titanic gets a chance to attack with Jango, he can use the Vambrace flamethrower to deal damage to both Anakin and Obi-Wan and exhaust both of them.
I love
I'm
that
not,
trick. That's so cool.
but I don't know if Endless. If you're Titanic, do you just attack into Obi-Wan and trade him for Jango before the opponent gets Anakin on the field?
Probably because I mean you're wary of the XP and card draw in
Deck
this
104 in
situation.
chat agrees with me there, saying you got to take the kill on Obi though when there are no other units.
Yeah,
And the chat
100%.
seems to think that as well, but I don't know. We'll see how this goes. Oh yeah. So Titanic does now take the kill on Obi-Wan, it looks like. But he's going to put some of the flamethrower damage on Anakin there. That does mean Anakin gets buffed and a card draw, though. So I do think that given that's what he ended up doing with the attack, it would have been more advantageous for Titanic to do that attack before Anakin deployed, because that way LegoPizza wouldn't be able to get the 2 experience and the card draw on his Anakin there. It's another instance showing how much sequencing can matter in this game. Doing essentially the same actions in a different order might have been more advantageous for Titanic there.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing that you were. This with the sequencing of it, and like as Deck was saying in chat, like killing the Obi with no other units, that was vital there. But
Titanic's still in a pretty solid position though here,
yeah,
I feel.
yeah, I was gonna say like he still looks good on board. Like it still looks good, and you got this Raider basically unchallenged. Um, you're still fine. It just stinks that Anakin got 2 XP and your opponent got a card,
Whiskey says if he does that, he can't tap with Raider, though. I think what he could have done is attacked with Jango into... Oh, no, you're right. He wouldn't have been able to tap with the Raider because Jango would have been defeated. Yeah, no, that's a valid point, T-Ski, for sure.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
okay.
man, LegoPizza throws a Jedi lightsaber on Anakin. Anakin's getting big.
Yeah, Anakin looking
But Titanic
nasty.
swings into Anakin with the crafty smuggler and exhausts him with Jango, only for LegoPizza to throw another saber on Anakin.
Wow, so Anakin's huge right now. He's
What
absolutely
are the
huge.
total stats on Anakin? What the heck is that?
Well,
He's
it's
got
10 from the lightsabers by itself.
so no, the lightsabers are 6, right?
Yeah. It's plus the 4 base, and then 1 from
So
the...
it's 10, plus he has 2 experience, so he's 12, plus he has 1 on the base. So Anakin has 13 power here.
Yeah, I bet you're playing Bravado in this deck.
He has 13 power and what is that? Is that 15 HP? So he's 1310 now with the damage on him. Titanic is just taking the initiative here, probably trying to ensure that Anakin doesn't get a chance to attack. Oh man, LegoPizza throws out a force throw, but it only does 1 damage with a Greedo discarded, and that means that LegoPizza is not able to clear this crafty smuggler, which I'm sure he would love to do in order to prevent Titanic from exhausting his monster of an Anakin Skywalker here. I don't know.
What a match.
Yeah, this is a crazy situation.
Yeah, so pings
Okay, so
Anakin again.
yeah, Anakin gets hit by the crafty smuggler for 2 damage and then exhausted with Jango's ability.
Oh, big Luke coming out.
Jedi Luke does not have the full debuff, so he can't kill the Raider, but the small debuff is sufficient to take out the crafty smuggler. Rodney Stubbs, thank you for the subscription here. Your support for this channel is appreciated.
I feel like that tap ability is like the only thing keeping Titanic in the game right now, because this Anakin is an absolute monster.
I mean, 2 attacks from that Anakin would have won the game already. So 2
Yeah.
exhausts might be, like you said, the only thing keeping him alive. But I don't
Yep.
know that Titanic has a... Here's the problem. I don't know that Titanic has any more permanent answer. He's in huge trouble here. I think
Yeah,
he scoops.
yeah.
Yeah, there's the scoop. He doesn't have a way to stop that Anakin this time. He's losing this race, and that's going to be the game. LegoPizza takes it.
Double lightsaber on Anakin, pretty based, gotta say.
Wait,
Love
don't kill
that.
me. He says, this is why Anakin is so good into Jango, can only tap so many times. I think
Yeah.
Obi-Wan I think the 2 experience from Obi-Wan didn't end up being that important, but having the Obi-Wan to cover Anakin's deployment was super important. If
Yes.
Titanic had had a waylay for that Obi-Wan, he could have bounced him back to hand and then had Jango take out Anakin on the deploy, and we might have seen a very different game at that point.
Yeah, then he...
Hopespaw86, thank you for the subscription.
Yeah, if you can destroy Anakin before he powers up like that, like you're sitting pretty, because Anakin is such a big... He's like the glue in any deck, right? In any deck that he's in, because he's so impactful as a leader.
Anakin is, I'll be real with you. I got Anakin wrong when I first saw him. I thought he wasn't really that good on the first preview, but
Mhm.
I've come around completely. He might be my favorite leader from the new set right now. I think
Yeah.
his leader side ability is great, and I think his deployment is great. He has a lot going for him. Very fun and very interesting style of play too, using your life as a resource, which is a concept that's present in other games but hasn't been as big a thing in Star Wars Unlimited yet. They're getting into it more with some of the cards that we've seen from set 3.
Yeah, it's very much borrowed power, essentially. And then you have this big old payoff when your base is low. It's
J-Rod
really...
CCG asks, Tower, how many Palp 2 in the field? I do not actually have a full field breakdown. I'm sorry. I hope at least some, and I hope they make it to the streaming table because I want to see Palpatine 2 being played just like you, I think. Damn Pauls and that _ Erickson, thank you for subscribing to Maclunky Gaming. Your support is appreciated.
And as we get ready, as we shuffle up for the second game here, just again, shout out to Claire and Titanic.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for making this possible. And of course, the entire team at Maclunky Gaming. We don't want to forget them.
Yeah. This is a these streams are really cool, and they wouldn't be possible if not for the efforts of the Maclunky Gaming crew. Dreamwalker DB says, anyone know what the players' records are? I believe both of these players are 1-0. This is only round 2, and I think we are I believe we are streaming from an upper table. I don't know if it's actually table 1 or how exactly the streaming table is being selected, but it is, I believe, a table where the players are undefeated. That Erickson suggests, I think that these first 2 matches are some bad luck pairs for Jango, but I think people knew he'd be here. Yeah,
Oh
it's
yeah.
possible. Jango, I know there was a video put out by Bobby Sapphire from KTOD discussing the Jango Red Tarkintown deck after he won, I believe, a store showdown with that build. And I think there's been a lot of discussion about Jango. I mean, I was mentioning it earlier before we saw the first match even. There's been a lot of discussion of Jango as kind of the inheritor to the Boba Red space aggro game plan.
No, you're absolutely right about that. I mean, everyone was like, okay, well, if we just need to plug in another fire spray user, and why not? We already have an existing deck that's like pretty viable, so why don't we just do this?
This might be controversial. I actually think Boba Red Tarkintown might be better, or I think Jango Red Tarkintown might be better than Boba Red Tarkintown was.
I don't entirely agree, but it has a lot going for it. Let's just say that.
I know that's a controversial opinion, but I think Jango's ability really takes those pings to the next level. Oh, and here we
Absolutely.
go. Titanic plays Crafty Smuggler, LegoPizza bringing out Sabine Wren Explosives Artist. Let's see what happens next.
Yeah, Shield's also good against the Anakin pump because they just soak it. Nice ping tap down there from the P38.
Hits the field, ping damage on Sabine, Jango's ability used to exhaust her. Now Sabine can be cleared out by Tarkintown or just removed with a normal attack from that Crafty Smuggler.
I feel like part of Jango, like one of the staples of Jango gameplay is getting that P38 on curve. Like, it just means you have just still quite a bit. But then the answer, of course, Daring Raid.
Daring Raid from the Anakin player defeats the P38. 1 damage goes on Sabine, but that 1 damage is a little wasted here, I think, because it seems most likely that Sabine will die to some other source anyway.
She's the only target.
Points out Jango getting P38 helps a ton. I think, yeah, P38 is an amazing card for Jango. It's a good card in general, but it's amazing for Jango in particular.
Something we aren't seeing also, there's actually like a couple of ground units that are really good with pings, and then he pops the shield to kill Sabine.
Yeah.
The A-Wing comes out for Ian. I was going to say there's actually quite a few ground to ground pings that I don't see in this space shell, which I think deserve some exploration. There's that exploit tank that does a ground ping. There's, of course, Bounty Guild Initiate, Toro Calican combination. There's holdout blaster pings. There's all kinds of pings that are just not being explored.
I think I have seen some people use the holdout blaster before. Oh, and there's another ping, the ISB agent, showing a Daring Raid, pings the A-Wing and exhausts with Jango's ability. Banana Crapshoot points out the P38 is also amazing for Palpatine. Yeah, it's a very good card.
Yeah, it's an extremely good card. ISB, it's very interesting. ISB into Daring Raid kills any 3 health 2-drop, which is really nice. It is 2 cards for 1, but it's still like, well, it's not 2 cards for 1 because you get the ISB body. Anyway, it's still like it takes some time. It's not an instant answer.
Also, chat, my apologies if we don't get to all the stuff you guys are saying. We have a big audience here with almost 200 people viewing this broadcast, plus the gameplay itself, and it is a lot to cover.
Oh yeah, we're seeing your messages. Don't worry.
Yeah. We are watching, and we appreciate the chat, even if we can't interact with every message. Spags, I see you too. Shout out to Spags, old schooler from the Netrunner days. All right, Titanic sends the crafty smuggler into the village protectors there. The crafty smuggler is defeated, but he knocks out the shield, and now we're seeing the triple dark raid. Shout out to Blue Devil Boxer for subscribing with Prime, and to T-Ski, who subscribed as well earlier. Always Crimeland says you don't need to do any chat callouts, really. I know, but I like doing them. Chat interaction is, to me, a very positive part of streaming.
Absolutely. Yeah, we don't. It's not. We're not like. It's not a professional thing, right? We're not like above the audience or whatever.
All right, and there goes Triple Dark Raid, brings out a 7th Fleet Defender. The 7th Fleet Defender ends up hitting the base, and Tarkintown is used to clear the A-Wing. Would you have gone for that, Endless? I think if it were me, and I could be wrong, but I
Yeah.
think if it were me, I might have used the 7th Fleet Defender to clear the A-Wing and kept that Tarkintown for later.
Yeah, I would have kept it because this. You're going to bounce you're going to bounce the defender anyway, but the shield will just the shield will come back when you replay it. So you might as well just clear it with the shield and save your Tarkintown.
It is possible Titanic is just trying to get more damage on his opponent's base, though. He hasn't landed an attack on base yet, and he may be thinking, I can already clear this with Tarkintown, and I want to get the clock started here. LegoPizza using Anakin's ability, 2 damage to his own base, allowing that village protectors to swing with +2 power and clear the ISB agent, taking 1 damage in return.
I love to see it, and it's also putting Anakin on that 5 damage threshold, so Anakin gets the +1 when he flips.
Titanic brings out another ISB agent, and the ping there clears the wounded village protectors from the field. Doesn't even need Jango's exhaust that time. Dankmaster85 says, hoping Jango players don't dominate and it doesn't become a thing. Hey, in game 1 or in round 1, we saw a Jango player take a pretty tough loss to Double Blue Iden, lost 0-2. So I think the Jango deck is strong, but I do think there are some answers out there.
And that's what you want in a meta that's diverse and stable. You don't want any kind of one thing dominating everything. You don't want like 5 boba in the top or whatever. This is a much healthier. So far anyway, it's been a much healthier spread.
Yeah, when we saw that top 8 from day 1, I believe there were 2 Jango Red Tarkintowns in top 8, but there was a very diverse field. It seemed like a lot of different builds were available. Jango hits the field here for Titanic. LegoPizza played a Yoda. Interestingly, LegoPizza fires off a Daring Raid, dealing 2 damage to Jango. Jango hits Yoda for 3, taking 2 himself. And then there's a Daring Raid to finish off Yoda there.
A lot of Daring Raids being fired back and forth between these players. You love to see it. These little lightning bolt style.
Maclunky Gaming in chat saying, I will try to get some data, but tough to survey in terms of overall metadata. Claire, thank you for your support. Very much appreciated. We've had some people praising us, the commentators in chat, but like we said earlier, this would not be possible if not for the great setup and production effort from Claire and Titanic here. We do what we can, but it would not be possible without them going and getting the internet set up and getting these cameras and so on. It's really appreciated.
Yeah, we have to keep in mind the behind the scenes work. Poe Dameron hits the field.
Ooh, yeah, there's that Poe. Now, last time we saw Poe, there ended up being the flamethrower from Jango to clear him out, but we're not going to see that this time. Jango just swinging into the base for 3.
Yeah, that was a pretty spicy play last game with the flamethrower on the ready Jango to then clear Poe.
Another swing for 3 here, this time from the 7th Fleet Defender. The damage is adding up a bit on Anakin's base, but you know what, Endless? That just means Anakin's going to be stronger once he hits the field.
Exactly. A Greedo comes into play. And
Yeah,
Anakin
Greedo.
again, sorry, and then
Now,
like
the
you
funny
said,
thing is, when Anakin does deploy, Titanic can just throw this ISB agent into him and exhaust him, and that's exactly
yeah,
what we see.
that is so obnoxious.
The fact that Jango's ability works on leaders, that is a little spicy. Oh, but it looks like Titanic doesn't have a great way to use his resources this turn. He's left with 4 unspent resources, I believe, maybe even 5. I think it was 4, so that's not where you most want to be.
No,
And Wait,
not
Wait, Don't
optimal.
Kill Me says, but now Jango gets killed first action next turn and Anakin is unleashed. I think it's very possible that's exactly what we see. We could even see Poe swing and get a double kill, killing Jango and discarding something to kill Greedo. Exactly right. Titanic goes for the Greedo top deck and misses it.
Oof.
Junior says, I think Ian is in insane spot. Look, it's not over yet, but I do think that with that Poe and with Anakin still on the field, I do think that Ian, aka LegoPizza, is favored at this point, but we'll see how it goes.
Anakin swinging on base for 6, and Ian is approaching that break point of having another attack on Anakin.
Yeah.
Getting that 15
Every
health break
5th
point.
point of life matters for Anakin, giving you that buff. Titanic brings out another P-38.
Man, that's
Ooh.
devastating with the Conquered Dawn. Not what you want to
Dawn
see.
interceptors. Yeah. Titanic's main hope of winning this race is to and then we see I believe that's a perilous position being played as removal here to clear the P-38. Titanic uses the opportunity to put a damage on the Conquered Dawn interceptors, allowing his 7th Fleet defender to clear it with just 1 attack.
And Ian is taking over the game. This does not look good for Jango right now.
No, it does not. In terms of damage on the field, Poe can potentially swing for 8 if his on attack is used on the base. Anakin can swing for another 6. That could be 14 damage just from those two. Not what you want to see. Titanic has, I believe, 19 HP left, so he's not quite in range for dead on board, but he's taking damage pretty fast. LegoPizza has only 16 HP left, but his board state is much stronger.
And No Good to Me Dead would be solid right here.
Death Star Stormtrooper, I believe that is a foil organized play promo Death Star Stormtrooper being played there by Titanic. Anakin swings on into the base, adding more damage. The damage is adding up here. Titanic is in trouble.
Titanic with 10 life remaining.
Yeah. Or no, he actually has looks like 7 life remaining. He's dead to 1 attack from Poe.
Yeah.
Flamer on the Death Star Trooper. LegoPizza plays out a restored Arc 170. I actually think that's a bit of a mistake because if he took initiative there, he can just immediately win with Poe attacking to base.
He plays a Ready Cassian as well from Smuggle.
Cassian, though, he's going to throw some more damage on the base. Or no, he's actually going to trade for the Stormtrooper.
Yeah, it makes sense. So there's no tap down.
Yeah, it is looking pretty over here for Titanic. I'm not sure how he could possibly get out of this one.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Like you have to if he answers Poe, Anakin just swings. And if he answers Anakin, Poe just swings. Like he needs like a multi-tap of some type.
Yeah, and without Jango on the field, he doesn't have it. Jango can only exhaust 1 unit per turn while in his leader mode, even though he can potentially exhaust several units in a turn when he's deployed as a leader unit. And there's the handshake. LegoPizza with the win for this match. People were worried about Jango and saying it was the deck to beat and so on, but now we've seen Jango being defeated in both of our first 2 rounds here at the SCG Con Columbus Premier 2K.
Yeah, that was a pretty commanding performance from Anakin, I gotta say.
Thanks for watching and supporting Maclunky Gaming. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.